you are in the right place. We would like to celebrate you. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this particular slide coming in all of your other sessions, but we would like to celebrate all the good work that you guys are doing, all of the growth that you've had, the change, the survival, sometimes the innovation that comes out of all the work that we've been doing. So we want you to share those stories so we can celebrate you either by tweeting them out at that Twitter handle that's listed on the slide, or simply scanning a QR code so you can fill out a Google form and nominate somebody or nominate yourself. We just want to hear about what good you're doing out there. All right, so this is Math. We've got your number, Foundational Math Skills Part 3. And we are so happy to have you here. This is the third in a series that we have been doing. And we are just so excited that you are here to join us. I'll go ahead and just drop the presentation resources in there again today for those folks who are just joining us. My name is Jennifer Sears. I'm a K-5 elementary math teacher support specialist. And my colleague who is behind presenting everything is Tammy Gaudet. And we are just so thrilled to have you both, or to have all of you guys here with us today, and can't wait to get started. This is kind of, as we said, a series, and we've been exploring the idea around this essential question, around what are some ways to engage students in learning foundational math skills within either a remote or hybrid setting. As we know, we could very well, and some of you are actually moving into those small groups as early as next week. So we want to be able to present some great routines for you that you can use either remotely or in person, whichever may be happening for you. Just a quick reminder, number sense routines are really, the idea around them is to improve our fluency with mathematics. And if we look back at that definition of fluency, we want to make sure that we not only have accuracy, efficiency, but also flexibility. And one of the things that you're going to notice as we do a lot of these routines is there's a lot of flexible thinking that is going on in the way that kids are talking about their strategies, in the way that they are seeing the math, or maybe understanding it a little bit differently. And we know that fluency is very important for our kids to be able to develop that number sense. So just wanted a quick reminder on that for why we are kind of behind this presentation and why we're doing this. All right, so we're into our welcome. We are going to introduce 3 different number sense routines to you today. The first being estimation 180, if you haven't heard of that. It's really a fun activity that you can do 180 days out of the year. That's where the 180 comes. The next one is called Same But Different. And then finally, 2 truths and a lie. Maybe you didn't know that one was for math, but it is. All right, really quickly, we just want to, we'll have you read those norms as we put them up in all of our presentations, but really, we really want this to be an interactive session. We're going to be calling on you. We're going to want to see you. We're going to want to hear you if you unmute, and we ask you some questions. So just want to let you know, we're going to have a very interactive session with you today. So the more participation and energy you can throw at us, I think it just makes the presentation all the better. So hope you're prepared to do some math today, because we wouldn't do a presentation without having some math, and we're excited to get going with all of this. All right, so you may have seen this question before, and within this question, we want to ask you, what have you tried maybe recently, maybe in the past, with your students in regard to number sense routines? If you can kind of think about that and plop your answers into the chat. I just want to see what's been going on with your classrooms with in regards to number sense. And feel free to unmute if you want to as well, but you can plop those ideas in the chat. Pixel art. Ooh, and is that for multiplication facts and circular review? I think that might be the X facts. I don't know. Modeling and thinking, and getting them to use their own words to start mimicking that language. Ah, we're going to be modeling a routine for you today. So modeling is especially important, and especially the different kinds of models that could be used within that. Counting circles. So some sort of counting routines. Those are all good ones. Number talks. That's one of them, one in our series, and we have a template that could be used for remote. All right, breakout rooms. Ooh, we might try that too with you. You never know. Could be coming. Skip counting, calendar math, all great ideas. Keep those ideas coming. We do ask in one of our slides at the very end, if you have a routine we haven't done and you really want to see it and how it could be used in a virtual setting, please send it to us. We'd love to have more and more as we can. All right. So you might be wondering, where did this sort of initiative come from? You guys may have heard this before, but in past years when we had Raquel Reedy as our superintendent, she had these big 5 initiatives. And one of these initiatives was this early numeracy. So within that, there was a group of Title I math resource teachers and curriculum and instruction resource teachers that sort of got together to put together this early numeracy check, and which the early numeracy track, if I can get this out right, highlights those sort of drop dead foundational math skills that we need all of our kids to have going from K through 5. So if you haven't already seen that, we have it linked in your resource page. We also have it up here on the slide. Take a moment to take back and look at all of those particular standards, because they are very essential for our students to have in order to have those foundational pieces to go on and through those additional grade levels. So, and I think we are at the point where we're going to learn our first routine. So Tammy, take it away.
Jim, can you just put the PowerPoint straight in the chat for people? I only see about 5 people in here, and we really need a lot more to participate. So
Gotcha.
The first activity that we're going to be doing is called Estimation 180. And this activity, they will be given a picture. And the kids will have to estimate too low of whatever the question's asking. Then they'll have to estimate too high. And then from there, it's up to us as the facilitators of the discussion, for me today, to elicit people to describe their strategy. So we'll ask people to unmute themselves and go ahead and describe why they might think that's too low or why they may think that's too high. After we've had a chance to hear from our peers, then we're going to go into and figure out what is the best estimate that I, at this time, as a participant in this activity, could put down for that question. And then again, we'll go ahead and discuss the people's reasonings for that. So if you're in the slide deck with me, hopefully, I am on slide 11. And this is the first question that I have for you, is I have some cheese balls here. And my question to you is, what is the total number of cheese balls? What I'd like you to do is I'd like everyone, or a few of you, to go ahead and pick a color. That will be your color for this whole activity, Estimation 180 together. So if I'm lime green the whole time. And go ahead and put what is a too low estimate. Hold off on the high for right now. So let's just do too low. I'll give you a second for some people to type in there. Hold off on the too high for just a second. All right. Great. I have some people that have put in their reasoning. So if you've not already done so, please feel free to go ahead and find an open one, because we still have a few open ones. I am going to grab one of the estimations that I saw someone put in there, and it was this one for 600. Could the person who went ahead and picked 600, could you go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us why you picked 600? Whoops, I just deleted you for I am so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go.
Well, I saw that there are 6 jars, and so I picked 100 for each jar because I think there's more than 100 in each jar.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Now again, for our older kiddos, we could go ahead and have them type in there for them, or have them go in correct whatever. If you decide to type for them, have them go in and correct. For our younger, we'll probably just go ahead and type in there, and then just say, I understood you said, and then repeat what they said and make sure that it is their reasoning. So if I did not quite get what you were saying, please feel free to go in and correct what I typed in there. Now, I noticed that someone did a low of, like, I see like we have a couple of 200s, we can have a couple of hundreds. What was my person who said 1? What was your reasoning for 1? And it's this kind of bluish grayish one.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Sorry, there's 3 of us in the same room, so we're, yeah, we're kind of, yeah. Anyway, I chose 1 just because I mean, it has to be more than 1. I mean, obviously, so I just wanted to put the lowest estimate that I could possibly think of. So that's my reasoning.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone who has taken some time and actually typed in an estimate. Now that we have discussed a too low estimate, what I'd like everyone to do is over on the high, stick with your same color, and I want you to go ahead and put in a too high estimate.
And this is for all 6 jars, correct?
It is, yes. Thank you for that clarification question. It is for the total, for all of them. How many cheese balls are there? So I am going to pick the person in the yellow who said 12,000. And I'm going to ask you if you could please unmute yourself and tell us why you picked 12,000 as being too high for the total number of cheese balls.
So I just kind of estimated what I thought 1 would contain. And initially I'd put 10,000, but realized that if I broke it into 6 jars, that my estimation for 1 would have been about 10,000. So I went a little bit higher than that because that, according to my estimation for 1, would not work for all 6.
Okay. And I spelled container wrong, so I'll correct that in just a second. 10,000 would not work. For all 6. Okay, I think I might have left out a piece of what you said. Could you please make sure and read, make sure what I said was correct?
That's a good abbreviation of everything I said. It's a better way to say it.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next one I'd like to call out was the purple one that said 6,000. Could you describe to us why you said 6,000 was too high?
I don't think that there's 1,000 in each one. I just say, okay, if there's 1,000 that times a 6, that would be 6,000.
Great. Oh, hi, Gracie. I happened to finally glance over to see who it was. I was like, that voice sounds familiar. All right, so 1,000 per jar, thinking there's not 1,000. So, okay. All right, so if we go to slide 12, on slide 12 is now your commitment. You are to commit to a true estimate of how many total cheese balls you think are in these 6 jars.
You keep saying cheese ball. I feel like I'm a cheese ball.
That's what they are. It's cheese balls.
Totally.
Are you thinking about a cheese head for Green Bay Packers?
Oh, I don't know. Just I'm a cheese ball. Like, you're such a cheese ball. and making me hungry. It's really what it is.
I'm seeing it's a little harder to commit to an actual number here for your
Look at
true.
these even zero friendly numbers. Oh, I just saw one that wasn't so friendly. Life is not that easy sometimes. We gotta like.
All right. I may have picked on this person before, but this is one of our low end estimates, the purple 600. I hope I didn't pick on the same person. So could this person go ahead and describe to us the reasoning why they picked 600? Oh, Gloria. No, I haven't picked on Gloria.
600 because I figured there's 100 in each bucket.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go more on the higher end. And this is the yellow. And I don't know if I picked on you before, and I apologize if I did. Can you describe to us why you picked 8,541?
Sorry, guys, that was mine. I just had a kiddo who popped into my Google Meet. So my volume turned off. That number came from the fact that I was thinking about 1,500 in each jar. But then I was thinking maybe a little bit less. So I kind of settled on the number 1,300. And then got a little creative with the end numbers because you gotta take some risks. So the last couple numbers are just a little random.
I like that you were a little risk taker on that, going against the norm.
The other one I would like to call on is this kind of gray, pinkish, reddish one. You gave us a lot more description in there. Could you please elaborate what you were thinking here?
Are you talking about
well, I like that.
Will's a comedian.
Are you talking about the 1,400?
Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know what color that is. That's you.
Oh, I estimated about 20 each row just by counting about 10 in the immediate front. So it's probably more than that. But I'm trying to think like a kiddo. And then I counted all the way up the layers, got about 240 times 6 jars.
All right, great. Thank you. So now the last part, we've had a chance to look at it. We've had a chance to look too low, too high, and then true estimates low and high also. Now comes the big reveal. Where you can find pretty much these anywhere is estimation180.com. And I'll tell you right now, it's already set. It's already there. It already has all the answers. So teachers can go straight there and look at it. And the question was, how many cheese balls? And right below it is a reveal. So I'm going to actually reveal how many cheese balls there are. So the nutritional facts tell me in 1 ounce is about 32 balls. And I know there's 23 servings in one big container. So if I multiply that out, I got 736. And then I had 6 containers, which is equivalent to about 4,416 cheese balls. So let's go back and let's see which ones were close to the 4,400 cheese balls. We had a 3,000. We had a little over at 8,000. I think someone had 6,000. Oh, that was the original guess. So some of us were close, some of us a little off, but that's okay. That's what this is all about, number sense, is us to figure out, I liked the layers and thinking about the layers and having a reason behind what we're guessing. So that is estimation 180.
And I like that you could probably keep going with different estimates. Like if you now know some of those nutritional facts, maybe they could say, okay, so then how could we figure out 5? Or how could we figure out 10? Or perhaps how could we figure out if we had 100 of these boxes? Yeah, we wouldn't be able to eat all those down, William. That'd be kind of hard to make our answer fit. All right, so this one is called Same But Different. There is also a website for Same But Different as well. It's by a creator of Sue Looney is her name. But let me go ahead and just give you a brief overview of how this routine is going to run. When we start off, we're going to actually be doing a chat waterfall. We're wanting to be thinking about what do we notice about the 2 images that we're going to see, specifically around the idea of what is the same about them and what is different, okay? And we're going to, have all those ideas dropping in all at the same time in that form of a waterfall. The next part of it is that I'm going to be identifying some of those responses within that chat. And I have specific math goals that I have lined out for you regarding those images. So I'm going to try and pull from those chat responses, what are those ideas that I really want to kind of get at that math goal that I'm working on, trying to have you guys kind of come to that realization on. All right, then I'm going to actually be doing similar to what Tammy was doing, calling on you. So be ready. If you put something in there, we want to hear, what is your thinking? And so I'm going to have you describing those different strategies. And then finally, because we do really want all of our students to be heard and seen, I'm going to ask you at the end, did we talk about your strategy, or did you see or hear your strategy evidenced in something that somebody had brought out within those 2 images? Because that is super important for us to be able to do. All right, so I am going to tell you that I will be typing in the section where we're talking about where it is same or different. Really what I need you guys to do now is take a look at that image, those images, there's actually 2 there. We see one on the top and one on the bottom, and be starting to type those words into the chat, either same or different, of what do you notice. And I'm going to tell you in just a moment, I'm going to give you a little wait time, but when I tell you to say go, when I say go, that's when all of those are going to drop in a waterfall chat. Are we clear on the instructions? So you're just looking at the 2 images right now, getting that same or different already typed into the chat, writing whatever statement goes with that same or different. And when I tell you to say go, they're all going to fall in. And one reason I really like these waterfall ideas is that has a record of the response. For us, it kind of serves as a formative assessment. And also students are probably less apprehensive if all of the answers are going in all at the same time. They're not put on the spot. All right, so I've given you some wait time. I want to see that waterfall in 5, go. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. All right. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a few ideas that I'm seeing, and this is that second part in there. All right, so Jose, I noticed that yours says they are both fractions dealing with fourths. So I'm going to go ahead and get that information in here. So I usually just go ahead and just copy it right straight from the chat. Can you expand a little bit on that idea?
I mean, they're different in that one is a shape, the other one's a number line, but both of them are broken up into fourths.
Okay, so I wasn't quite sure so you say they are different. They are both fractions and that's what makes them different? Or
no, that's what makes them the same. I'm sorry. They're just.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure I get that information clear on there. And that's what helps if you put like same or different in there. Okay, so yes, they are both fractions, and they are both dealing with force. So one of the things that I can do on here that if I want to like go ahead and highlight that information, I can go into my scribble and I could actually be talking about how you were just saying that you see force, you see the idea or the concept of those 4 pieces up here in the top, as well as you also see that idea of the force down here in the bottom. Okay, and so I want you guys to also be kind of keen to that because this could be some explanation that you're giving within for the students that you'll have there. And I like to do it in 2 different colors, only because I'm kind of highlighting that same different idea that's also in there as well. All right, let's take a look and see. I'm going to go ahead and just troll the chat again. I'm going to see if I see some other ideas that I want to kind of hear a little bit more about. Oh, Deb. I want to hear about this. So Deb has, they both represent less than 1. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I looked at both of them and they weren't, I guess I looked at the 1/4 as well. I felt like the circle was showing 3/4. I felt like the number line was showing 1/4, but both of those numbers are less than 1.
Okay, so also kind of I'm hearing in your idea of saying that they're both less than 1, you're also pointing out a difference.
Yes.
That you kind of see that, yes, there's force, but you're more seeing the picture on the top being a 3/4
yes.
of the representation. And the other one below is talking more about the idea of it being a 1/4. But yes, I do also want to point out that, as you said, I can see pretty clearly we're talking about either like a hole down here, right?
Yep.
Oops, that line did not want to go there. I'm going to hit scribble again. But yes, we do have that whole representation that's represented down there, as well as we're looking at like sort of a hole up here, but it has a piece missing.
Right.
All right. So I do want to bring out that point about it being different. So let's see, the bottom shows 1/4, and the top, and someone else may have pointed that out, shows 1/4 missing, or 3/4. All right.
And I saw Rachel mention that.
Oh, and also Rachel mentioned that? Oh, awesome. So this is where, and I probably haven't gone down far enough to like definitely see that. All right, let's see. I think Lindsay said that too. It looks like that as well. I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. That's actually probably, I like to go ahead and just actually capture your guys' verbiage in there. So sometimes in that sense, it's really important to go ahead and have that in there. And remember, you could be having the kids voicing this verbally, and as a teacher facilitating it, you could be typing it in just as I did, or you could be grabbing that information from the chat. All right, let's take a look about some more. I'm curious about some more different. Brenda, will you like to talk to us about what you saw was different? I see different, 3 sections are colored. 1 section in the number line is colored. Is that kind of similar to that idea that we were talking about earlier with what Deb was saying?
Yes. I was thinking, you know, what kids see color-wise. 3 of them are colored in the top. So only 1's colored in the bottom, so they must be different.
Okay. All right.
We're kind of the same. I think, you know, a lot of kids, when they're comparing fractions, hopefully they would see that they are different that way. But I just was looking straight at color.
You were just looking straight at the colors, that there's different colors. Like, you're right. I mean, I see pink and I see green too. that could be something that is coming up in there. I'm kind of looking to see, and I don't see that anybody might have brought it up, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but there are 2 different models here. Did anybody bring out the fact that there's 2 different models or representations?
Yes, Julian, I see, said that.
Jillian said that. Ah, Jillian. Oh, maybe I wasn't as quick to troll it on the chat as I had hoped I had been. Jillian, tell us more about that idea.
Well, I put that they were both fractions, but that one was shown in an area model and one was shown on a number line.
Yeah, that's an interval model. Yeah. Or a linear model, depending upon how you want to talk about it. Yeah. So yes, there are two different representations. Definitely. We have our area model up on top and we have our linear model also on the bottom. Awesome. One other thing that I was kind of looking through there to see, and this is something when I talk to my kids about fractions, especially with that bottom number line model, is they often wonder, do I count the ticks or do I count the spaces in between? And so it's very important to say, you know, when we're talking about that interval, we're looking at those spaces in between. We're not counting the ticks and thinking of that's the pieces and all. We're talking about those spaces that are in between. And then one other thing I was hoping to see, and I don't know that I kind of saw it, but maybe, Tammy, you've been so good at seeing everything in the chat. Was there anything mentioned about them being equal pieces or partitions? No, so that is something that we do want to make sure that we identify up here in the same, is that's not the foundation of fractions, is that we are talking about equal pieces or equal partitions. And we want to make sure, because we could have put a representation up there and cut them in all different sizes, and they might have not represented the same whole or the same pieces. So we do want to make sure that we are also pointing out that there are equal partitions and equal pieces that do represent those parts in the fraction. So that is another thing that you guys could have been pointing out. All right, so that is same but different. And I think you guys kind of have an idea of some of those mathematical goals that I was counting on. Did you guys kind of catch some of those pieces of where I wanted you to highlight what is the same and what are the different? I think you can have lots of different conversations, and kids are going to see different things just as you did along with it. Oh, one last thing. Sorry, Tammy, I forgot to say. That very last question that we have on there, which is in regards to, did you see or hear your answer today? Was your answer in this discussion captured either by somebody that had pointed out a similarity or a difference, or by something that I had voiced? Did everybody get a chance to hear or see their answer and be recognized for that? One good strategy that I can see for that is if you did see or hear your strategy being mentioned, can you just please turn on your raise your hand button? If your strategy was seen or heard. And I promise I won't call on you. All right, that's awesome. I'm glad that you guys got to see or hear your strategy today, because it's very important that we have that in there. Now, don't forget to turn off your hand raise. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a great high five. Woohoo! Good job on that routine.
Called a virtual high five. That's what I say. Virtual high five.
Virtual. Woohoo! All right.
Our last activity is called Two Truths and a Lie. It's just like the icebreaker, but we've put a tweak to it. We've kind of tweaked it. So the first part is there's going to be a picture of a Pinocchio on the slide. You're going to move the picture of Pinocchio onto what you think is the lie. Next, we're going to go to a new slide and then really type in what we think is a lie and our reason we thought it was a lie. So if we think the first one's a lie, we'll just type in there why it's a lie. The next activity is we have some sorting activity to truths and lie. What we would like you to do is take the pictures and put it under truth or a lie. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and share our rationale for a few of the items on the truth and a lie. So I am now on slide 16. And on this one, I'm hoping the people that have opened this, what I'd like you to do is go ahead, this Pinocchio up at the very top, go ahead and take a Pinocchio and move it to which one you think is the lie.
There's more than enough Pinocchios to go around.
Okay. So we've had some people, I put some Pinocchios on the first one. So far, I haven't seen anybody pick the second one, and also some Pinocchios on the third one. All right. So on slide 17, if everyone could pop over to slide 17, I'd like you to now that you've had a chance to just look at what everyone else says, I want you to put your reasoning why you picked the one you picked. So if it was the first one, just pick an open text box and start typing in it.
I feel like this could be a same or different too, because I'm seeing things that are similar and different.
Just the way we're looking at it, we're tweaking it.
Mm.
So I'm going to go ahead. I know a few of you are just finishing up your thoughts. Please feel free to finish up your thoughts, but I am going to call on a few people. So I'm going to start at the bottom since I see more people still typing on the top. And I have one down here at the very bottom. It was the 3 is not the same as 4. Can you please, whoever typed that in, go ahead and elaborate for us?
Yes, that was me. Yeah, on the left side, I see 3 dots, and on the right side, I see 4. So I was looking at more of it like quantitative as opposed to the colors.
Okay.
And so,
Thank you. And I see some were talking about 4 to 3, but then I had some talking about the number of color just on the same right there. We felt that was a lie. I'm going to go into the middle. And I'm going to go with the one that said person who said the amount of dots on the other 2 did not correspond. Could you elaborate on that, please?
So I guess, so when you pointed out that nobody had picked the middle one, I went back to the middle one and I noticed that like the top one had 2 red dots on the left and 3 on the right. And on the bottom, there was 1 red dot on the left and 2 on the right. However, the middle had 2 red dots and 2 yellow dots on both sides.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a great look at that. All right. Okay, let's go to the top. And I am going to pick this person who said, I chose the bottom one. Are you picking the top one or are you picking the bottom one? Okay, I think that's I'm confused here. Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and actually go to the person who says I chose the first one because there are 2 red on one and 3 red on the other side. Could you please elaborate for us? Is that person still here? Okay. All right, well, that person just very obviously saw 2 red and then 3 red and then 3 yellow and then 2 yellow, so it's an opposite. So with this one, now we would actually talk about which one was a lie. This is a kinder first activity on this specific one. And you can see that if we were really talking about first and second, we could really talk about the properties and the swapping, how 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. So the first one is a truth. The second one, we can see we're just taking two red, 2 yellow, and the same on the other side. They just swapped around, so that is a truth. On the bottom, we could talk about how the numbers 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 2 is not the same. So there's our truth, 2 truths and a lie. So this next activity, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to send you out for this sorting one to breakout rooms. I have it all set up for you guys. So there'll be about 3 to 4 of you in each of the breakout rooms. And what we're going to do is in the breakout rooms, just you guys sort it. What is truths? What is lies? And when we come back, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be just talking about a few of these. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes. Sounds good. 4 minutes for you guys to do that. And then we'll have a chance to talk. All right, guys. Oh, to pick them, I don't have them assigned by groups. So pick one and put like a name on there so you claim it, so no one else claims it. It's probably the easiest way to do this one. All right, guys, off you go. Oh, what happened here? What happened?
I don't know. Did you get him?
Yeah, I have like Gloria not in a room. All right, sorry. I'll try to put you in a room.
There you go. Elise needs a room and maybe Patty.
Okay.
That's at least who I'm seeing.
All right, I'm trying right now. Sorry about that. Oh, it's assigned.
They can stay with us and claim one in there.
Says it's you're assigned. Elise says you're assigned to breakout room. Or not. Elise and Patty, did you get into a room or am I still struggling to get you in there?
Nope, Elise left. So maybe
Okay.
she went.
Okay. And then Patty is assigned to breakout room 6. Is that right, Patty?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, someone called it breakout room 6. Perfect.
That was smart. How many breakout rooms did you have?
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's at least 2 in every room, 2 to 3.
MGA. Ah, their initials.
All right, they're moving along.
They are moving along.
All right. All right, breakout room 2. MGA, you're right. I love it. I see people on number 22.
You invited me to breakout 1, but I canceled. So I don't know who's in breakout 1. Hope I wasn't the only one that was there.
Aubrey, Gracie, and Michelle.
Ah.
And I realized when I was sharing the reveal for estimation 180, I didn't switch it over to that tab. You got to tell me. We can't see it, Tammy.
I wasn't sure. I thought maybe you were just giving us the information, but go back and show them where it is.
Oh my God.
It is what it is. All right. How many more minutes? Should be a couple more.
1 more minute.
All right.
All right.
I think this was, I like this, that they got to go to Breakout. So
Yeah, I actually liked the work. All right, I'm going to call on MGA right away.
thanks for checking the chat on those ones because they're harder to see. I was like,
Yes. All right, they'll be coming back. They're ending in 13 seconds.
all right. And it's only 2:46, so I think we will finish probably a little early. So
I think they will be happy.
yeah. Oh, look at all these lovelies coming back. Nope, not quite yet. They don't want to leave.
You're right. They do not want to come back.
You guys didn't want to leave. You're having so much fun.
Oh my God. How do I don't know how to stop them.
Oh, they'll come. They're coming. We're getting them in slowly but surely.
Oh, okay.
We love that part. They didn't want to leave. I'm telling you. All right, we're at, looks like 10 folks. I know we had like 20 some before we left. So let's give them maybe a couple more seconds. Hopefully we'll get some more.
Preface that you may not have time to finish everything.
That's true. You didn't have to finish everything in there, and you guys still have access to this. So it's not like you couldn't have been working on it when you came back. But I know you guys didn't want to leave in there.
All right, we have 12. All right, there we go. People are finally coming back. Perfect.
All right. They didn't want to leave. I'm telling you, they wanted to make sure it was perfect.
All right. I'll give maybe. So here we go.
I think we lost a few somehow.
No, oh, here we go. They're coming back now.
All right.
When you come back, you have to recognize that it's recording. Otherwise, it won't let you in. So sometimes, like I didn't look up.
we just thought you guys all wanted to finish it and make us happy before you came back. We knew you weren't going to finish it all.
I thought I had come back, and I looked up, and it's like, oh, recognize. Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. And I have pulled up slide 21, the group MGA, and I was wondering about your reasoning with 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. I noticed it's kind of sitting in the middle. So what was you guys thinking?
So for that one, we were thinking that it's counting by twos. So counting by twos like an even, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, but then counting by twos, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. But then we weren't sure. So we felt like that part is true. Like you can count by two those two different ways. But then if it's trying to show like the cards are equal, so 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, they're not the same. So that's kind of where we were like, maybe it's a lie. It just depends on what you're asking. So
depends on the context of the question. Could be.
All right. Where I'm on slide 20, and I noticed that you guys put it, Breakout Room 2, put it as a truth. What was your reasoning for truth? Was it the same or was it different?
For which one? I think we joined back a little late.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, that one. You guys put it as a truth. Why did you put it as a truth?
Because they're both counting as twos.
Okay, so it was the same reasoning. Yeah. All right, great, thank you. So then let me see. Where are I'm looking
at room 6.
All right, here, Breakout Room 6. You guys put this one in the middle.
So our discussion was Renee felt like they both equaled 8, 5 and 3, and then 6 and 2. And I felt like that is the number 62. That is not 6 plus 2. And so therefore they are not the same.
Yeah.
So
we put it in the middle because we thought, well, I thought it was true, but she thought it was a lie. So that would bring up a good like discussion that you could have with your kids.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I noticed, what was it in breakout room? Where is it? Breakout room 4. You guys put it as a lie. So what was your thinking on it as a lie?
We figured we'd be obstinate and see if you would call it. No. One of us saw it as 6. We saw it as 62. And then we also saw it as 8 plus 8. So we thought it was a good discussion one, I think. Is that right, Corinne? Okay.
Okay. And then I had one more that I wanted to call out on Janie, Layla, and Matt. Why did you pick this one as a lie? What was your reasoning for that?
Honestly, we didn't get to it.
Oh, snap. No, that's good. Thank you.
I can do that.
Okay, go ahead.
We actually had it as a truth and then switched it to a lie because our members looked in closer and I had called it a truth and like, wait, it's actually 46. So if you zoom in on that one, we found an extra stick.
Ah, we put it in both, then added the reasoning. Okay, so you guys enlarged it or something to look in to see this different sticks here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I couldn't count the sticks in the bundles, but we're assuming that a bundle was 10.
Oh, you're right. That is a function. Because I didn't tell you what it was.
If you didn't pull it apart and count it, how do you know it's 10? Good thinking.
So with 2 truths and a lie, we started with a nice, just quick, easy truth or lie. And then we moved into it where you had a breakout room so that you could talk about some different truths and lies. And you notice we had some, Jen is really big right now into this, where it's called Math War. And,
start a war.
Huh?
I'm gonna start a math war.
I'm going to start a math war. So we put some in there that could be yay, nay, depending on how you looked at it, to start a math war. And that was a way to start a discussion, hopefully, within your groups.
Look, I see people moving them. It doesn't mean you were right. It's okay. This is what we want. We want that discussion. That's where the learning happens. All right. So thinking about this next question up here, how could we adapt some of those to a hybrid setting? Can you guys think of some ideas of maybe any of those 3 routines, how they could be done in the hybrid setting? And again, feel free to plop them in the chat, unmute yourself. What are some ideas that you have for that? I mean, you could have, to me, I can see small groups working just like we did with that breakout room, coming in and sorting them and then talking to each other over that time. Partner kids up at home with ones in class definitely could be an opportunity. Yeah, the more ways that you can try and think of and adapt in different ways. These are really great routines that you can do at any time. And again, we want you to be, really making kids very flexible around that number sense and having those opportunities to enjoy math, be curious about math, see things that they never would have seen before. I bet you that some of them are going to go home and fight with their parents after they played that game, probably to see how they saw it. So. All right, and we wanted to remind you, I know we did a quick demonstration of this, but we have an ongoing series that we are doing in March, and it's the same Math We Got Your Number. The only difference is that we will demo the routine similar to what you experienced today, as well as provide a make and take of all of these different number sense routines, activities, along with that. So this advertisement is meant for you guys to be sharing with your teachers, because we want to see your teachers getting in there and getting in to have the opportunity to try these different strategies within their classroom. So we wanted to remind you, they're all coming up in different times in March. We do also record them and they are on a playlist within our YouTube channel within the Hub curriculum. So even if you didn't get it, you can still go and catch the replay. And we have several of them already recorded. We have done about 6 of them. So these 3 will be added to that library, as well as 2 more. You can't wait for that, can you? All right. Just a reminder, next summit, we are going to be having somebody from the Elena Aguilar's, you guys have probably heard this in every single session, but Elena Aguilar, the one that wrote the book Coaching for Equity, she has a company called Bright Mornings. And we're going to be offering throughout that April summit an opportunity for you guys to be able to go to some of those workshops with regard to that Coaching for Equity piece. We will still be offering some additional sessions, but we just want to remind you that the bulk of that work will probably be dedicated to that Coaching for Equity session. All right. Takeaways. Did you guys enjoy yourself?
Got to do some math.
What is something that you're going to take away from today's session? We want to hear what you think. And again, please feel free to unmute it. Tell us. We'd love to hear your feedback, or plop it in the chat. We do know that you're going to be giving us some information on our survey, and we want to remind you to make sure you fill out that Power School survey. But right now, let's just hear what were some of the things that you guys liked about today's session. What are you going to take away with you? Number wars. Woo! We're going to start a number fight everywhere. I'm going to tell you. You see me, I'll figure one out to start. Loved all the strategies. Excited to share with the class, with their teachers. Sorry, I can't speak today. 2 truths and a lie. Who knew? It was not just a great icebreaker that we could start a math war with it. Estimation 180. They have 180 activities for every day of the school year if you'd like it. So happy that you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to give us feedback. Please make sure you fill out that Power School survey. We did record this session, so it will go up on the Hub, and share those other quick number sense routine, the math we got your number sessions that we're going to have all throughout March. We'd love to see as many people as we can and get the word out and start those wars. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Have a great day.
And we'll stay on for a few minutes if you have any questions, but that's our emails if you need to get a hold of us as well.
I just have a question about the sessions in March. Are they all different or are they all the same?
The sessions in March